Well, good evening, everybody. I just don't know how to follow that. Thank you and welcome tonight. This is my last night where I get to meet everybody and greet them as your president. And I would like to say, first off, thank you very much for the privilege this year. I will get into it later into my speech, but it has just been something that has been so much fun every other Friday. I think I have actually, not consumed as much wine, but thank you. And it has been a great year. First off, I'd like to welcome everybody and say we've got a fantastic night ahead of us. We have two speakers. Our newest member, Dong, will be speaking, and I will follow up with a speech as well. We have got our award, our first ever Class Act award that we will be giving, and we have our induction. Is it induction? Is that the right word, Karen?
Installation.
Installation. Thank you. Karen has kept me on my toes with propriety the whole year round, and I don't think it's ever going to stop. So we have our installation of the new executive tonight. I would like to not just welcome everyone. I'm looking to see if we have guests. I know that we have Amy, who is a guest. Amy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Amy Kring, and I'm here because I was very cordially invited by Cheryl and by the executive. I'm your incoming Area B22 director, and I'm really enjoying the night so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Thank you, and welcome to what Roger Caesar calls the insane asylum. I like to think of it as we're highly spirited. I will now introduce tonight's Toastmaster, who is, as I mentioned, our incoming Sergeant at Arms. This is Ingrid Harris, and Ingrid's been a Toastmaster member since 2017. She joined us this year and has been such a great addition. She joined in October. At her previous club, she held executive positions, including Secretary, VP of Membership, and President. She's achieved the Toastmasters Competent Leadership Certificate. She's been a co-leader for Toastmasters youth programs, and she is currently working on team collaboration and pathways. She enjoys learning and growing professionally and personally. Please help me welcome tonight's Toastmaster, Ingrid Harris.
Thank you, Kathy. Welcome, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Tonight's program is definitely one that you don't want to miss. And thankfully, I don't have to say much about what's happening because everyone else has. But I do want to just make note of a couple of changes to our agenda just to inform everybody. We do have a timer today. It is going to be called Cal Lockhart. And Kathy's speech is going to be between 10 and 12 minutes. We will reduce the break time to approximately 8 minutes instead of 10 to accommodate. And we're going to just change up the section in the club business we're going to install the new officers and then do our presentation for Class Act. So I just thought I'd let everybody know. I'd also, just before I just want to present our theme tonight, which is The Journey Continues. And in fact, just share a little story. In the past week and a half, both my sons have graduated, one from grade 8 and one from grade 12. And just as thank you. Their journey is continuing. Our journey continues here from the club, and so much excitement to come. Of course, in doing so, I want, in good standing, to raise your glass, whatever it is, to the theme of today, the journey continues. Cheers.
Journey continues.
The journey continues.
Now I'd like to introduce our grammarian. Did you know the average person uses approximately 7,000 words a day? Our grammarian, Wayne Tuttle, uses more than that before his second cup of coffee. I am sure he will give us a short description of the grammarian role Over to you, Wayne.
Thanks very much, Ingrid. Much appreciated. Did you know what the actual description is for grammarian? It is someone who actually studies grammar and words. Well, you know what? I don't think I've been studying hard enough because I'm still trying to come up with words. So tonight, what I would like to do a little bit different, instead of counting all those little crutch type words like your ums and ahs and so's, and one of my newest favorite is right? Right, Melanie? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give our members a grading system. So I will grade it A through F. And we'll hope that we don't receive an F, but it could be an F plus. Yeah, as far as any standout sentences or phrases, I'll try and keep track of that. But the other thing that I need to keep track of is the actual word of the day. So keeping in context of the theme tonight, the journey continues. The word of the day is jubilant, which means joyous, to have fun, and it's an adjective. So to use it in a sentence, tonight, Raising Champions is going to have a very jubilant meeting. And I hope we can hit at least 11 times. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Wayne. And now I'd like to introduce our timer for this evening, Cal Lockhart. Cal, could you provide a description of your role and let us know how you're going to be communicating the timing to our speakers?
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. For our regular timed prepared speeches, our normal is for 5 to 7 minutes. Tonight, for Kathy, I will be showing the green card at 10 minutes, yellow card at 11 minutes, and the red card at 12 minutes. For our regular speaker, for Dawn, I presume will be 5 to 7 minutes. Is that right, Dawn? I will show green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7 minutes. For table topics, 1 to 2 minutes, I will display green at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, red at 2 minutes. For our evaluators, 2 to 3 minutes, be green at 2, yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, red at 3 minutes. And for round robin evaluations limited to 1 minute, I will simply display red at 1 minute. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Cal. That was very descriptive and precise. Look forward to your reports. Now I'd like to go into the section of our meeting, which is our speeches. Tonight we have 2 speakers. And let me introduce our first evaluator for speaker number 1, Mike Proudlock, to provide Dong Ju's, I guess, what we are going to be listening for.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Dawn is working for the Understanding Your Leadership Style. That's the project that he's working on this evening. And the purpose of this assignment is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles and share some aspect of that primary leadership style and discuss leadership styles in general. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mike. Dongju is a member of Halton Hills and has been for 6 years. He recently joined ARCAT and will be presenting his first speech to the club. Please help me welcome Dongju, Toastmasters Value in Me. Toastmasters Value in Me, Dongju.
Everyone see social media every day, but I rarely respond any post. 2 days ago, I saw a post. I have to respond. It shows a story. A young, 11 years old, scared, nervous boy used Toastmasters program to grow to become a world champion. Madam Chair, fellow champions, honorable guest, Amy. I have to respond to this post because it also reflects my Toastmasters journey, how I start my journey and how I joined this club. I joined Toastmasters 6 years ago with a simple purpose. Use English languages to communicate. Because as English as a second language speaker is my first barrier to be conquered. Do you still remember your goal, your purpose to join Toastmasters? I cannot compare anyone else because everyone is different. I have to set the goal for myself. At the beginning, I already know Roger Caesars because he delivered a fabulous speech in our Halton Hills Club. I never expect I can join a club like this because I heard you must be a CC, the minimum a CC to become a member. So I just set my personal goals. Like you in work, you set up goals, set up KPIs for your performance review. I set goals for every year of my Toastmasters. Do you set up goals for your Toastmasters every year? In the past 6 years, I set up the following goals. Some of them achieved, some of them not. The first goal, I want to become a CC, finish my 10 speeches first. I want to try all the meeting roles in 1 year. I did achieve that. I want to become executive. I try to deliver 1 speech a month. So total 12 speech a year. I want to become a DTM sometime. I'm not there yet, but some of the goals achieved. So I know the Toastmasters value is IRSE, is integrity, respect, service, and excellence. I don't know what that means at the beginning. I know it's just communication. After all the years of all the efforts, actually last year, I delivered the most speeches and evaluations in Halton Hills Toastmasters. Until now, I already delivered more than 40 speeches. I feel something changed here. There's a quote from Engel, Friedrich, a change of quality, retail, a change in quantity. That would happen to me. After 6 years, when I review again the purpose of drawing Toastmaster, I have complete understanding of what is Toastmasters and what the Toastmaster value is. What the differentiate Toastmasters and normal people is. This is Toastmasters. This is normal people. What the difference is normal people plus Toastmasters values become a Toastmaster. What is Toastmasters? Because normal people plus Toastmasters value become a leader. So every Toastmaster is a leader. I don't think Toastmaster is a communication club. It's a leadership club. So what makes our differences is because we use the value to drive our activities. For example, I perform every meeting role. All my activities in Toastmasters use the best ability at that time. This is aligned with the excellence value. I found the Toastmaster value from here drove me to this club, because when I review the value of services, as a 6 years member, I see so many new members join Toastmasters. They need help. I think I can help, but I think I need to improve my skills, my experience. Where's the best place to start? Is that place at the beginning of my dream of a Toastmaster journey? I contact Cheryl. Am I qualified to come to this club? He said yes. Just like the quote in that post said, the 11 years old journey, the boy, if he can did it, you can do it too. That's why I come to here to join Toastmasters, to join this Raising Champion Advanced Toastmasters, to become a follower of my role model, Roger Caesar. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dong. That was a very jubilant speech of your goals and your achievements. Thank you for sharing. Very much appreciated. I'm just wondering, could the timer put 1 minute on the clock for us to reflect on Dong's speech? Cal, let us know when a minute has passed. Thank you, Cal. That's a minute. We'll now ask our next evaluator to introduce the speaking goals for Kathy's speech, and her evaluator is Melanie Tadeo. please provide.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. Tonight, Kathy is delivering a level 3 elective, Inspire Your Audience. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice writing and delivering a message that will inspire her audience. The timing is 10 to 12 minutes. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Melanie. Kathy has been a Toastmaster since 2016. This past year, she has been president of Raising Champions, and oh, what a year it was for this club. Help me welcome Kathy Dreniceris, Raising Champions 2021-2022 Presidency, a retrospective. Raising Champions 2021-2022 Presidency, a retrospective. Kathy Dreniceris, that's a mouthful.
Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. This is a retrospective of my year as the president of Raising Champions, Advanced Toastmasters. Now, I'm going to be describing this presentation a little bit as I go through, because one of the things we know as an advanced club is that not everybody can see, can hear, and can speak as well as the other person. So for anybody who may be visually impaired, I will do my best to describe things. Sometimes some pages will not need to be described because I'll just talk through it. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you say, how did I get here? It was last May of 2021, I get a phone call. And this phone call's from James Ahola, and he says, Kathy, I think that you should be nominated to be president. And we at the club have discussed it. We think you do a great job. And I said, no. I'm sorry. I'm very busy with my house, with my work, with my dogs, et cetera, et cetera. Sure, we're in the middle of a pandemic and there's nowhere to go and nothing to do, but I'm just too busy. Sorry. And then I called my good friend, Karen McNeil. And she said, oh, you know what? Being a president isn't that hard. I was president many years at Downsview. Besides, Kathy. And here's a little cartoon. And here's a picture of Karen. Don't worry, says the cartoon. I've got your back. These are words she may have come to regret. So I thought about it. Now, I'm an IT person, so we have to think logically. Here's my flow chart. Remember that in a flow chart, a diamond is a question mark. You've got a yes or no. So I started. Do I want to do this? If the answer is yes, will it likely end in disaster? If the answer is yes, but will it make a good story? And if the answer is yes, go ahead and do it. So last July 1, after learning about what an advanced club means, which Toastmasters says the difference with an advanced club is the level of feedback that you get. And of course, Raising Champions has so many DTMs and champions that we are able to give great feedback, but also advanced clubs does more events and more mentoring, or we're supposed to. I said, yes, I'm going to do it. And I was sworn in with, I will say right here, right now, a great executive team, because there's no way we could have had such a great year without them. We had Patricia, Stephen, Marissa, Wayne, James, and Karen. And we talked about everything that we needed to do. And then after I got sworn in, the phone rang. So there's my picture of the phone ringing. Madam President, says Roger Caesar, as the founding member of Raising Champions, let me tell you what I had a vision for. We need to do more celebrations. I know we've been severely affected by going online, but we need to bring the energy up. We need more celebrations. Okay, Roger. And we've missed a few over the past couple of years. I mean, we had a lot happen to us, and I won't go into that. Thank you. 2 days later, the phone rings again. It's Miss Jacqueline Payne. What does she say? Madam President, As the founding member of Raising Champions, I have to tell you what my vision was for this club. We need more celebrations. So that is what I heard. We need more celebrations, pictures of people celebrating. At our next meeting, we did a lot of planning. We did our succession planning, so good for us. We planned our club officer training and came to an understanding of why it's important. Turns out Marissa's very competitive, and we got 50 TI dollars by getting all of our officers trained, and she was after us for it. We planned some invasions and some events because it looked like we had time. And then we asked Mike if he would do the workshop for the open house in October. And we asked Roger, could you do a workshop in September? So look at us, we've got events, we've got the whole fall planned, and we even thought we would do a gala at the end of November to just catch up and recognize everybody who had achieved that we didn't really get a chance to do much other than go, hey, round of applause. We wanted to make sure that they were acknowledged. If you get your DTM, that's a huge path. I don't know if I ever will because there's so many components to it. So if you've gotten a DTM or a second or a third DTM, we need to celebrate. So we had it all planned out. What a great fall. And then August came. And look at what happened here. Our very own Roger Caesar placed third in the World Championship of Public Speaking. I hope I said that right this time. First place, Verity. Second place was Nate. Roger, first Ontarian in 26 years. Holy crow, is this a big thing? So next we had Roger Palooza. And what happened with that? Here's that picture of the phone again. Madam President, we're going to be celebrating Roger. Can you come say a few words? Madam President, we're going to be celebrating Roger in a big way. Roger Palooza took up a little bit of my time that I wasn't expecting. Happy to do so, but it kind of threw a wrench in our plans, as did the humorous contest we weren't expecting. Want to know what I learned from this though? I thought, oh my goodness, I can't get this fit in. But all we did, and also I wanted to compete, but all we had to do was say, hey guys, we got to do a humorous contest. Want to know what I learned? I learned that our RCAP members had no hesitation in stepping up and putting on a humorous contest. And congratulations to the winners. We had a fun night. I didn't win, but we had a fun night. Of course, at this point, we're starting to go, if we don't have some regular meetings, we're not going to have our DCP points. Ooh, why do we need DCP points? Because we want to have a higher status. Look what I learned again. Goodness, I'm learning a lot. And I've been a Toastmaster for 5 years. I didn't know about these things. Then came the gala. Now, how do we recognize people and their DTMs? I spoke to my executive, and turns out people who know who's working with who, and it was suggested that I contact a number of these folks. I had no idea who these people were, but now I do know who they are, and I know their roles. And I learned that if Neil Dunsmore's speaking, I want to go watch him. He was hysterical. We had a fun night. We were finally able to celebrate so many things. And again, all I had to do was ask other Toastmasters. The best part of it for me at this point was just how much I was learning about what goes on beyond the club and who's doing what roles and why they're doing it. What was their motivation? Sadly, following our gala though, we lost one of our members. And I learned that even though I was away and I wasn't here to lead this, our membership stepped up and did a tribute to our Stephen Stashin that we lost. Now come January, we had another big event. This was a fantastic learning experience. Jennifer Jones came to us last June and said, this is my plan for my HPL. I want to do this event and it's going to be a fun event. But the first date didn't work out because it turned out to be a Friday of a long weekend and everyone wanted to go away. So we rescheduled for October. But that day that was available in the district turned out to be a Friday of a Halloween weekend. That wasn't going to work out either. We moved it to January. And I learned that don't let a false start stop you, because the day that we actually selected was a Friday in January when Ontario was locked down again. The weather was miserable. And the feedback that I heard was, what a fun night. It was the most fun we have had for ages. And who stepped up again? It was the RCAT folks. We were showcasing all of our folks. We did get a little bit of help outside of our RCAT. And those people taught us a little bit about technology, about Zoom, its capabilities. It was a great night. Congratulations, Jennifer. And then the phone rang again. Madam President, I have a great idea for another event. Yeah, yes, Roger. How about if we bring all of the finalists from 2021 together for a panel interview? What a great idea, don't you think? Well, let's see. Here's my flow chart again. Do I want to do this? Will it likely end in disaster? If it does, will it make a good story? Okay, let's do it. So on April 2nd, we hosted the Cavalcade of Champions, Mike Proudlock, great facilitator. And who stepped up again? Karen, Cheryl. We had David Bethune. I don't know why he isn't a member yet. We've got to get him in here. Thank you so much. Wayne, being our dedicated SAA, said to me, there is no way we are kicking off such a big event without me being Sergeant at Arms. Now, because we had lost a couple of members, we had Wayne step up as VP membership and Melanie came back to us as VP PR. Thank you very much. Because of that, I would like to just acknowledge that Melanie, I want to talk a little bit about the achievements of our club. And if I miss you, please throw your achievement into the chat so we can recognize you throughout the night. Melanie, Club Coach of the Year. I wonder why. What an amazing, supportive person you have been. Past completed. Wayne, Engaging Humor. Jennifer Jones, Visionary Communication. Myself, I finally finished one path, Presentation Mastery. For levels completed, Wayne Tuttle, Engaging Humor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cheryl Bates, Motivational Strategies, level 4. Eva Britton, Motivational Strategies 1 and 2, Persuasive Influence 5. Karen McNeil, I'm so sorry I spelled your name wrong. Dynamic Leadership 1, 2, 3, Presentation Mastery 4. Melanie Taddeo, being the underachiever she is, 13 levels. Engaging Humor 1 through 5, Innovative Planning 1 through 5, Visionary Communication 1 and 2, Mike Proudlock 1, 2, 3, myself, Engaging Humor 1, 2, Presentation Mastery 4 and 5. And RCAT events, well, I've already mentioned a few of them. The Cavalcade of Champions, Family Feud. Melanie has done her accessibility workshop 3 times. Karen has created a YouTube channel and we've put Melanie's podcast training and blogging for beginners, podcast 101. Roger Caesar, of course, Cavalcade of Champions, too many speaking engagements to mention. He's done 4 alone today. Wayne Tuttle, SAA training at District 123, COT training, January and June, and his workshop of De-Stress Your Life at the conference. Now, speaking of the conference, we had a hybrid this year. And we got district recognition to go through first. Cheryl Bates, Division B Director. Deborah Walker, 3rd place in D123 International Speech Contest. Eva Britton was our District 123 Logistics Manager. Mike Proudlock, Chief Judge at Conference. Roger Caesar, Keynote Speaker, Panelist, Contest Chair at D123 Conference, and multiple members doing multiple things in the district. But speaking of the conference, it was great to see people, and a few of us were able to attend in person, and we had such a great time. And our 3rd place champion, She was there in person, flew in from Regina, raising champions. We had recognition at the conference again. And we also had, we finished off the year with a challenge to continue to think outside the box. When we look at the events that we put on this year, they were events, if you were to talk to a Toastmaster, they would say, this is how we've always done it. But what's Raising Champions saying? No, we're going to do it a little differently. We even had our last meeting seeing through another's eyes. And here's a picture of what it looked like on Zoom with all of us blindfolded. Now, part of this, a big part of this is the creativity of Mr. President-elect. We never knew what he was going to come up with. Did we now, including tonight when he was a cat? Goodness, I want everybody here to make sure that they give him all of their support, as you have with me. I want to thank you very, very much. I learned so much. And I have to tell you, because I met people, they also met me. So what happened to me today? I got a call from our quality director-elect saying, I want you to take on a role for next year on my team. Well, I'm back to this decision tree, aren't I? Do I want to do this? Will it likely end in disaster? Will it make a good story? Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kathy. What a jubilant presentation of our club's fantastic year of retrospective events and accomplishments, some of our sadder moments and some of our happier moments. Thank you for sharing that. Cal, could you put 1 minute on the clock so that we can all reflect on Kathy's speech to provide her with insights during our round robin feedback? Thank you, Cal. 1 minute is up, pens down. Okay, so let's go ahead and Cal, could you provide us with the timing of the speeches?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I shall be happy to. First of all, for Don Zhu's speech, 7 minutes, 32 seconds. For Kathy's speech, 15 minutes, 27 seconds. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Cal. Looking at the time, I believe we have enough time to do 6. Sorry, I'm just checking. Yeah, I think we have enough time to go into the evaluation. So I'm going to hand over the meeting now to our general evaluator, James Ahola, and he will go ahead with the section of our meeting to introduce our evaluators and an opportunity for all of us to give feedback to our speakers. Please help me welcome James Ahola.
Thank you very much, Ingrid. It is so great to be back here and with everyone. And I was very happy to take on the role of general evaluator. In fact, I would say after I saw who was going to be the evaluators, I was quite jubilant. We have the incredible Melanie Tadeo and also the distinguished Michael Prodlock. So it is a wonderful time. Michael, who will be giving the first evaluation of Dong, has been a member of Toastmasters since 2003 and has served in most of the roles available to members. Evaluation-wise, Mike was a finalist in the District 86 Evaluation Speech Championship in 2019. So please help me welcome, giving the evaluation for Dong Zhu, Michael Prodlock. Michael.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, especially Dong. First of all, Dong, there was a great deal to admire in the way you presented your speech today. I like the way that you initially piqued interest. We have one opportunity to grab the audience's interest. And when you talked about a media post, a social media post, that you felt compelled to respond to, that gets us asking questions. What would have prompted that? What was so interesting that you had to respond? I also like the way that you ask questions of the audience. It's a great way of grabbing people's attentions. Why did you join Toastmasters? It gets each audience member thinking about why they did join and therefore listening to what you have to say. And you asked all of your questions correctly. Second person singular. You, I like it. I love it. Well done. And then you were truly inspiring in the way that you talked about your Toastmasters experience and the fact that things don't come easy for you necessarily. English not being your first language, it's a hurdle that a lot of us don't have to deal with. So that was truly inspiring. What I would have liked to have seen, and this is part of every evaluation, is for you to make a bit more explicit connection between the purpose of the speech, which was to talk about your leadership style and your experience in Toastmasters. You left it to the audience to infer your leadership style when you talked about the things that you did. So I would have preferred you to say, I believe in leading by example. And that's why I speak at every opportunity. I take on executive roles. I take on roles in every meeting. So that you don't leave us to paint that picture ourselves. You give us that story, make that connection a bit more solid. Also, and this is really difficult, I understand, when you're giving a speech online, is to look into the camera as much as you can. Because when you were giving your speech, it looked like you were, I don't know if you were referring to notes or not, or looking at your own photo image on the screen, but it looked a little bit askew. So the way to get around that, to the degree that you can, is to try to look at the camera. It's difficult, I know that. But I love the way, Dawn, that you talked about your relationship with Toastmasters, the RISE values, how you feel them here. What I want you to know, Dawn, is that you reached all of us here as well. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Mike. Next up, we have the incredible. I don't know if there's anything Melanie can't do. I would not be surprised if she flew an invisible plane and had a golden lasso. Melanie Tadeo, who will be looking after Kathy's speech. Melanie Tadeo.
Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, and especially Kathy. What a jubilant speech. It was amazing to hear your perspective of your experience as president of Raising Champion for the last year. I'll be evaluating your speech using the hero method. H, what did I hear? I heard passion and enthusiasm. You spoke with clarity and confidence. And Kathy, I am so pleased to say this is one of the best speeches you've given when it comes to filler words. So few of them this time around. It was lovely. So congrats. E, what did you excel at? You're so descriptive, inclusive. I truly appreciate that. You were able to use description without going over the top. You spoke at a great pace, but yet you connected with all the different opportunities that you shared with us. So we followed along, we connected, we were right there with you, but you did it from your perspective, which showed how you connected with the club, what you're proud of, but yet you also give us recognition, which we truly appreciate that. You also used amazing vocal variety, and that came through with the passion and enthusiasm. R, I have 2 recommendations you may want to consider as points of growth. This speech was to inspire your audience, and although you're very inspiring as a leader and what you've done with Raising Champions for the last year, the project asked for you to work on creating and delivering a message to inspire your audience. And you may possibly have done that just at the end with a strong call to action to wrap it up. So this has been our year in review. What will you do next year? Again, I encourage you to step up and take on a role, do some sort of call to action that you would think, and that would have just wrapped everything up in a beautiful bow. Lastly, I'll say, overall, it was an incredible speech that not only showed us the accomplishments that we all could be proud of, but also what was possible under your leadership. So please be very proud and consider from us to you, thank you for your leadership and an incredible speech that inspired us all. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Sorry, I just want to add, Melanie, you absolutely nailed it. I missed my last line, which was I was going to ask everybody. So thank you for asking on my behalf.
Thank you, Kathy. And Cal, could we please get the times for the evaluators, please?
Yes, we can. For Mike's evaluation, 2 minutes, 54 seconds. And for Melanie's evaluation, 2 minutes, 24 seconds.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, in light and trying to keep us on schedule, we will do the round robin evaluations. However, we'll probably have to limit it to 2 per speaker in order for us to stay on schedule. So I will go around the room and ask, please do not repeat anything that anybody else has said. So do we have a first person for Dong? Show me by raising your hand. Karen.
Thank you, Mr. GE. Fellow Toastmasters, and especially Dong. Dong, I loved how you delivered the speech. You were confident. Your English is amazing. My only growth point is sometimes your pauses were a little long. Pauses are great when they're 2, maybe 3 seconds, but some of them I counted up to 5 or 6 seconds. That's a little long and makes us kind of go, okay, is he going to finish? So that would be my only growth point.
Thank you very much, Karen. Going around the room, Roger, recognize.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, especially you, Dong. Dong, first and foremost, congratulations on where you are in your Toastmasters journey. I knew you when you first started. I saw the shy guy, and I thank you for referencing my post on LinkedIn. The beauty of watching someone grow is amazing, and I have seen you grow leaps and bounds in your journey. I agree with everything that Mike has said, and as well with what Karen said. The only other thing that I would suggest again is keep the rhetorical questions going in your speech. it allows us as an audience to also look back at our journeys and to see what we have gone through to get to where we are. Everything else, I am going to agree with what they've said already. Eye contact, pauses, everything like that. Good job.
Thank you very much, Roger. Are there any others? Now we're going to move on to Kathy. I'm going around the room looking, I'm doing it in gallery view. Oh, Michael.
Can I just thank Kathy for using a photo of me when I had dark hair? Thank you, Kathy.
Well, you're the one that sent it. I'm just really sorry that Wayne and Melanie can't see what it looked like to have the cat avatar of Wayne tonight.
All right.
And I'm just sorry I forgot to hit record while the cat avatar was up. Sorry, Wayne.
Oh, it's hysterical.
Okay, Ava.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. What I would like to do is just step back for Dong. One of the, I just want to comment on his sharing of of why he joined Toastmasters, because sometimes when you're in Toastmasters for a long time, you don't really share that. And I appreciate why he did that. And I think it sounds like a very similar journey to very many people that join Toastmasters, but it's nice that you're feel comfortable to share why you joined, because not everybody does feel comfortable to do that. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ava. Now we have about 1 minute left. Is there another person that had another comment for Kathy?
Anyone?
I'm cruising. Yes, Kat. Wayne.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes, you raise your hand.
Okay, thank you, Mr. General Evaluator and Toastmasters and Kathy. I really don't have to tell you how you did. I still have the chills from it. It had to be the most compelling speech I have ever seen you present. The area of growth that I thought about, there's two things to be mindful of. The one area that I've noticed that you have a pattern is when you get excited and you're enthusiastic about something, and a lot of us do this, our voices seem to rise a lot higher than normal. So if you catch yourself doing that, mind yourself and bring it down. Bring the not the volume part of it, but the actual, the pitch, I guess, if you want to call it. The other side of the growth that I would also think about is, for me, I couldn't differentiate the difference in the characters that you were portraying. You had Roger, Jacqueline, and I think there was someone else in there as well.
Roger again.
Yeah, so go back to, like, if you were going to do Roger's voice, obviously you do a lower type voice, and with Jacqueline a little higher pitch. But again, over well done. Thank you very much for a well done speech.
And Wayne, there were actually two pictures of you in there. There was one of you in your motorcycle outfit. And the other one was just, I grabbed it tonight when you were doing it.
Oh my God. And it's being recorded. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Wayne. All right, well, that brings us to the end of the round robin section in order for us to stay on schedule. I guess that will bring us to opening our break, and let us reconvene at 8:06.
Kathy, a tremendously great job. Honestly, that was probably one of the best speeches I've heard you do. So,
thank you. Actually, there's
congratulations, obviously, to our club. what an amazing year that we have had in total. The amount of events that we put out, the challenges that we had this year. I think back to Melanie and the amount of challenges we had with her inclusion project and onward, and we just kept on being resilient. And it's a testament to you as well as our president, because your energy, the way you were constantly pushing us to do things and to, again, think outside the box. So well done. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. But I have to say, I could not have had this kind of a year without the executive that we had. Karen took on being a Zoom master. I must have driven her crazy with the questions or the calls, the expletives. Wayne called me constantly with different ideas, making sure that we were on track. Sometimes I just get so busy, I just don't get to everything. And so Wayne just always kept us on track. What are we doing for this week? Patricia getting the agenda out. Melanie was just fantastic when she joined and helped us with PR, the blogging, and just everybody who stepped up and helped. Just terrific. There's no way we would have had this great of a year without it being a whole team.
Yep. Well, that's what it's all about.
Well, fellow Toastmasters, it looks like it's time to get started in our second half of our meeting. Unfortunately, I can't have our cat come back out and restart the meeting. He's gone. He's had to have his nap after too much catnip. So it's all up to me once again. So to get started in our second half, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Kathy Duraniceris to introduce the business section and to introduce Amy.
Thank you very much, Wayne. For the last time, our Sergeant at Arms, at least for the last time on this executive. Tonight, we will not be doing a report from everyone. Instead, we are here for the installation of the 2022-2023 executive. These members have stepped up and accepted their nomination and have been voted in. And we have a guest here tonight who will help us with the installation. Amy Kring has been a consistent Toastmaster for close to 3 years. She has served as club treasurer, secretary, VP education, mentor, and coach, which I must say is an awful lot to do in 3 years. Now she is taking the next step and taking on the role of Area B22 Director. Please join me in welcoming Amy for the installation of next year's executive. Amy.
Thank you very much. Karen was very kind enough to ask me to come here tonight to do the installation. And I know that she reached out on behalf of the executive, the outgoing executive. To start with, I would like to acknowledge the outgoing club officers for all of their hard work that they did this year. I'm wondering, do you want to spotlight them, all the outgoing officers, or do you just want me to name them? Or could you name them actually, because I don't know them. Sorry. I know there was Wayne. Wayne was the Sergeant at Arms, but then he moved, I think, changed positions.
Okay, so I can name them off. So there was myself, President. VP of Education was Patricia James. VP Treasurer was Marissa. I'm not going to say her last name. I'm still working on it. Our secretary was Karen McNeil. Our VP of PR was Melanie Taddeo. And Karen, who am I missing?
James.
Public relations? No, you have
Membership.
Treasurer.
Membership and Sergeant at Arms.
VP
Oh,
membership, yes, correct. We started with Stephen Stashin and then Wayne took it. And Wayne, of course, was our Sergeant at Arms. Thank you.
Thank you very much for stepping in. Thanks. all of you outgoing officers are discharged from any further duties and responsibilities as officers of Raising Champions Advanced Toastmasters. Next. Great, thank you. Next, I'm going to call the incoming officers in the order of Sergeant at Arms, Treasurer, Secretary, Vice President of Public Relations, Vice President Membership, Vice President Education, and President. And I love the outfit, Cheryl, thank you. I'm going to call you up one by one, and I'm going to read your, I'm going to read a blurb about you. And then I'm going to ask you that you say, I'm going to ask you a question. I ask that you answer by I will. I'm sure that you're all very familiar with this and you've done this many times before. Okay. I'm going to start with the incoming Sergeant at Arms, who is Ingrid Harris. And thank you. I see the spotlighting. Thank you. 1 second. You keep track of the club's physical property, such as the banner, lectern, timing device, and other meeting materials when you meet in person. You arrive early to prepare the meeting place for members and stay late to stow all of the club's equipment. When you meet online, you can act as the moderator for meetings, and this will allow them to set expectations at the beginning of the meetings to ensure that they are conducted with professional atmosphere of a Toastmasters Club meeting. When you meet in person, you are also in charge of the meeting place itself, obtaining a new space when necessary, and maintaining contact with the people who allow you to use the space for your club meetings. The Sergeant at Arms has a role to play during business meetings, speech contests, and other special club events. For example, the Sergeant at Arms escorts potential new members outside the club's meeting place while the members vote on admitting them to the club. The Sergeant at Arms stands at the door while contestants compete in speech contests to ensure that the speaker is not interrupted by latecomers. Ingrid Harris, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Wonderful, thank you. Next, I'm going to call, I realize that your treasurer is not here and that she's repeating the role this year. So I'm going to skip the role of treasurer and I'm going to call the secretary. Mike Prodlock, as a secretary, you maintain all club records, manage club files, handle club correspondence, and take the minutes at each meeting, at each club and executive committee meeting. You are also in charge of updating and distributing a roster of the current paid membership and keeping the club officer list current for Toastmasters International. You may occasionally assist the Vice President of Education as well. You order supplies for the club as needed. Mike Prodlock, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Very much. Next, I'm going to call on the incoming Vice President of Public Relations, Raj Pillai. A wonderful outfit, thank you. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Pillai? Pillai?
Pillai.
Pillai, okay, thank you. You, as the Vice President of Public Relations, you promote the club to the local community and notify the media about the club's existence and the benefits it provides. You promote the club, update web content, and safeguard the Toastmasters brand identity. It is your job to notify the media whenever your club does something newsworthy. As Vice President of Public Relations, you will find yourself writing news releases, creating and distributing flyers, and maintaining the club's presence on the web and in the community. Raj Pillai, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Thank you very much. And next is the incoming Vice President of Membership, Eva Britton. You promote the club and manage the process of bringing in guests and transforming them into members. By initiating contact with guests, helping them feel welcome, and providing them with the information they need to join, you help maintain a constant influx of new people into your club. You also attentively monitor membership levels and strategize with the rest of the executive committee about how to overcome membership challenges when they occur. Eva Britton, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. And next is the incoming Vice President of Education, Cheryl Bates. Thank you. As Vice President of Education, you schedule member speeches, verify the completion of projects, and serve as a resource for questions about the education program, speech contest, and your club mentor program. You are an important source of Toastmasters knowledge for club members, and it is your job to become familiar with all aspects of the Toastmasters education program. Cheryl Bates, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I most certainly will.
Excellent, thank you. And last but not least is the incoming president, Wayne Tuttle. Are we getting a cat, a pirate? Oh, I see Wayne, okay. Toastmaster Wayne Tuttle, having been elected the president of Raising Champions Advanced Toastmasters, you are its chief executive officer and are expected to preside at all club meetings and at all regular and special meetings of your executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It is also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, division, district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. Please accept the gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to office. I don't have a gavel. I'm guessing that you can pretend very much that you have one. The gavel is a symbol of the power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and with restraint. You are a member of your team as well as a leader. A team is more than a collective. It is an emotional force rooted in the feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Am I cutting out? No. Work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone is proud. Wayne Tuttle, will you, as president, accept this challenge and perform your duties to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed into the offices to which they have been elected. Do you want to stand for this last part? Or no? Okay. I'm just going to read a short blurb, and then I'm going to turn the meeting over to the incoming president or the new president. Okay. It's almost done. The growth and development of the Toastmasters program and Raising Champions Advanced Toastmasters depends largely upon the actions of this group. On your honor, as members of Toastmasters, do you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year? What do you all say?
We will.
We will.
We will. We will.
Thank you. Now I'm going to turn the meeting over to the new president, Wayne Tuttle.
Thank you very much, Linda. Well done. I don't know, there are so many different times in my life that I absolutely get the chills up and down my spine. And this happens to be one of those times. So Thank you very much, everyone, for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to be your president for the next year. Right now, I'd like to talk about the award that we have developed over this past year. I thought of this award early in January, soon after we lost Stephen Stashin. Over this past year, I was starting to get to know Stephen. He still had a lot of things that he would keep to himself. And it wasn't until after he passed that I started to learn more about Stephen. Cindy Tate, unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to get to know Cindy. But after speaking with a number of members who knew Cindy very well, they told me that Cindy was the type of person who would light up a room when she came in. Both Cindy and Stephen were extremely dedicated to Toastmasters. And any time that they offered to step up, whether it was taking on roles, being on the executive, helping out in any way they could. And that gave me a thought. Why not develop an award that epitomizes what Stephen and Cindy were all about? So I brought forth an idea to the executive that we should come up with an award that would be suitable to the member who excelled over the calendar year. The executive decided that we should form a committee. And in that committee, there was myself, Karen McNeil, Jennifer Jones, and Lena Shaw. We sat down and we developed a criteria that would really make the individuals shine when presented this award. We put it back out to the members, and the members agreed that we should do something like this. We decided to call the award the Class Act. And it really is an acronym. Communication Leadership Award, Stephen Stashin and Cindy Tate. How befitting is that name to the individual that will be presented this amazing award? Unfortunately, the families of Stephen Stashin and Cindy Tate were unable to attend this evening. I know they're here in spirit, and they will have an opportunity to view this on our YouTube channel at a later date. Kathy, if you wouldn't mind reading what the inscription is on the actual trophy.
Karen, I think I've lost it. I'm so sorry. Karen, can you read it, please?
Class Act Communication Leadership Award, Stephen Stashin and Cindy Tate. Presented to the Raising Champion Advanced Toastmasters member who has demonstrated excellence in communication and leadership throughout the Toastmaster year. This award was created in memory of Stephen Stashin, a charter member of RCAT and a 20-year Toastmaster veteran, and Cindy Tate, a highly active member of RCAT and a 10-year Toastmasters member.
Well done. Thank you, Karen. It is my distinct pleasure to be able to present the first of ever Class Act Award for the year 2021, 2022. May we have a drum roll, please, Karen? And the winner is Karen McNeil. The members have spoken. Absolutely. The nominations came in and it was a unanimous decision to select Karen. Kathy had mentioned in her speech how much Karen has done for this club this past year. And I know from speaking from personal experience, I couldn't have done what I was able to be capable of doing this year without your help. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do.
I just want to show everybody the actual plaque. Hopefully you can, well, I gotta change my unblur me. Can you see it without too much shadow on it?
Yep.
So that's the plaque.
Beautiful.
And so that one will go from person to person. And this is the one that I get to keep. I don't know if you can see it.
It's absolutely stunning.
And Wayne picked it out.
I did.
So thank you, everybody, for all of your nominations and your support in this. I definitely do not feel that I deserve it, but I will accept it anyway. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen.
Congratulations.
Here comes Cheryl Bates with a rendition of Table Topics.
Thank you very much, Wayne, Sergeant at Arms, incoming, Mr. President. I will be your Table Topics master this evening. And let me tell you, they are all themed. All the questions are themed, of course, to The Journey Continues. And why is this important to me that I take on Table Topics today and the theme of Journey Continues? Because I am your VP of Education. Therefore, I want to know what you're going to do in the next Toastmaster year here at ARCAT. So these are very leading questions because inquiring minds need to know, the executive needs to know what you're going to be up to. So you have 2 minutes to formulate an impromptu mini speech based on my questions. Are you ready? I'm going to start with those who don't have a role this evening. And you don't get to choose a number. You don't get to choose the question. I get to choose for you. And I'm going to start with my favorite buddy, Eva Britton, better known as Shariva, the other half of Shariva. Eva Britton, you've been a dedicated Toastmaster for many, many years. You've been on the executive many years. You're in the district leadership. So I want to know, Eva, what's next for you?
Madam Table Topics Master, since we're talking about Journey Continues, obviously as a VP of membership, my goal is to increase the membership when not lose any. Because sometimes what we come up against is we gain a lot of members, but then we sometimes lose them and we're back to square one. My goal is to keep the members we have, increase the membership. Amy, did you want an application form? We're ready to go. You can be one of us. So I'm already going to be starting. Whoever comes in here, I'm going to try to make them feel as welcome as possible so they just don't want to leave us. Madam Table Topics Master.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much, Eva. Thank you very much. You go, girl. I am sure that you will you'll definitely excel in that. Roger, my friend Roger, you speak a lot everywhere. What did Kathy say? You had four commitments today already. Is that right?
Yes.
In the words of Melanie Tadeo, every speech is a project.
I know.
Mr. Caesar, I need to know, as your VP of Education, what do you find most challenging in the Pathways projects in order for you to get your levels and keep committed to speaking and achieving?
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, I am the last and the worst person to talk about when it comes to doing pathways. As much as I have been able to achieve in terms of speaking all around the world, I have not put those speeches, as Melanie often says, into pathways and to have I could have probably been a second DTM by now. Probably would have had my second DTM and joining the likes of Eva Britton and many others who are multi-DTMers. But alas, I have chosen to be jubilant in going around the world and sharing and inspiring those that I have come in contact with. And yes, I have a duty, I know, to make sure that I start using those speeches in my Pathways program. I've only done one path. I know, I'm so bad. So my journey will continue under the regime of Wayne Tuttle, that I will, I promise, put some paths together with my speeches so that RCAT can easily, with the help of others, get our DCP points so that we don't have members like Kathy wondering, what is that? How do you do that? No, we're going to be able to get those in a good and a proper amount of time. And I will help by allowing myself to remember to not only be jubilant out there in delivering speeches, but also to make sure I get somebody to evaluate it and put it in as a path. Madam Tabletop Master.
Yes, that's the spirit. I like it.
And we have it on tape.
That's right.
Oh, turn it off. Turn off the recording. Turn off the recording.
I was just going to say we have 17 witnesses now. So make it so, make it so. Thank you, Roger. Thank you. Jordan, if I can call on you. We are so jubilant that you have joined RCAT. So I want to know, as one of our newest members, Jordan, what your new RCAT friends can do for you. How can we help you?
Thank you for the question. I guess the first thing that I would want is what you've already been, what everyone's been doing already, with making me feel welcome here. So that is there. I guess the other part would be to try and encourage me to speak more like this, to call upon me more often. I'd like to learn some new roles or ways to do some roles that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So I don't know how to do that stuff, like the timer, say. As I can't type on the keyboard, so this is a lot of time for me to, not much time for me to type, or I have to use on-screen keyboard basically, type. I guess the other thing is just to be able to learn from everyone else, especially this from watching everyone speak and evaluations. I can learn a lot just from hearing other people's evaluations. And I'd like to reach some of my goals, which was to be able to talk about my disability and be able to relate to others, or even to inspire other people that might be having the same situation or just want to listen. And ultimately just have fun. Be the main, that's the ultimate goal. Yeah.
Well, you definitely came to the right place for fun, Jordan. And as your VP of Ed, thank you very much. I will ensure that we will get you on the agenda, filling in roles, and call upon you often. And I'm so glad that we've made you feel welcome as well. Thank you so much. The Raj. The Raj from Down Under. Now, Raj, I've heard you speak so many times, but this year, not so much. Now, you did give us a speech most recently, but my question to you is, when are you speaking next?
Right. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Next. Well, that's something I think probably everyone's have in their mind is when I'm going to do next. And maybe tomorrow, or it could be the next meeting. But you know what? I think probably though, every time I join the Toastmaster, from the moment I joined the Toastmaster, I give my speech to my wife every single day. And that's how I have been practicing as the 3 rules: praise, give comment, and then praise again. And that's what I have been doing. But coming to your question, yes, very soon you're gonna hear something about from me in the future meetings. But what's next? The topic? That's still don't know yet. But you will find out soon. Thank you. Back to you.
Excellent. I can't wait until I see your speech request come through on Easy Speak. Thank you very much, Raj. I'm going to go over to Christina. Christina, you go to a lot of meetings as district director and program quality, and I'm sure you've gone to a lot of different meetings. So what I'd like to know, Christina, is what types of events would you like to see us do next? Do you have some great ideas for us, Christina?
Thank you very much there, Madam VP of Ed-elect and Table Topics Extraordinaire Chair for this evening. In terms of events to do for next year, what I would encourage the club to do is to continue to promote their name. They have done a number of really strong events this year, and I really like those, and I believe they've been very successful, and I would like to encourage the club to continue those. Don't hesitate to nudge those who need a nudge, because although people always say they are busy, sometimes they too may respond to the nudge. However, what I would like to see do is some partnered meetings with clubs that are full of very green Toastmasters. And the reason I say that is it would promote the club to newer Toastmasters who don't even know advanced clubs exist, let alone what they are and why they might be interested. But it also would assist the clubs with a lot of newer members to have different feedback. So it is not only the few senior members always speaking, always giving the strong suggestions for improvement and all the rest. So for example, the club where I'm the incoming president, which is Sheridan Park, there's really about 3 or 4 of us who can give feedback as seasoned Toastmasters, and the rest are essentially quite green. So clubs like that. If it's not Sheridan Park, of course, there's a number of clubs, I'm sure, in District 123, in Brampton, and so on, and continue to be a shining light of example, because everybody is going to be figuring out this hybrid thing. So how are you going to put the advanced spin on a hybrid meeting as well? So it'll be interesting to see how clubs around the world migrate to hybrid concepts, but what different twists would RCAT encourage? And again, definitely continue to nudge the others who you know can also do workshops. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Christina, for your valuable, experienced insight. Have we done an invasion at Sheridan Park?
I think we ended up with about 2 people, and so it didn't work out too well, but it's something that we could coordinate. And yeah,
we had it, I think we had it on the agenda, and our first few invasions went well. But to my presentation previously, when all of a sudden we got bunched up with so many events, we lost the attendance, and so we let the invasion slide. However, fall is coming.
Yes, indeed. And just as an example of what I'm working with, I've got myself as president, Carl as SAA, and the other, my VP of Ed, my VP membership are both very green. My PR is very green. My secretary is an intermediate level of experience. My treasurer is very green as well. So I've got my big mentoring hat on for the year.
What day do they meet, Christina?
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. Thank you. And Amy, tuck that under your hat too, that if there are other clubs in our area that need support, please feel free to reach out to us. As division director, I encourage joint meetings and to feed off of each other, to help each other out, especially in clubs that have a small membership, or, as Christina said, very new members.
I will be trying to host regular open houses. I just haven't figured out what they're going to look like, and then how to guide the exec on how to do it so that I'm not doing all the work.
Obviously, for sure. Thanks, Christina. I'm going to call upon maybe one more. Patricia, where's my friend Patricia? There she is. Patricia, can you please tell me what pathway you're working on and how RCAT can help you?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters, and our guest, Amy. Which path, Cheryl, am I working on? Which one would you like? Presentation mastery, innovative planning, or motivation strategies? Which one do you want me to talk about? There's 3 of them. I'm trying to complete one of my not one of my paths, one of my levels, and I'm struggling with it because I'm not a person to speak of my emotions like some of our CAT members. I think Mike might have talked about it last week, or was it a different club that I heard it, that somebody didn't like talking about their emotions? And I'm struggling with that particular speech. As much as the emotions I've had over the last few months, I might need some still help on how to present it in a way that would be effective. And I think that's one of the ways that you could help me with one of my paths with that one speech. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
There you go, you hear that? Patricia needs some help. She needs some help on her emotional intelligence speech. Yes, that was one that I took a long time to pull together as well. See, even Christina, yeah, Mike's nodding as well. It was a hard one to pull together.
I find every excuse under the sun to do it. I just haven't made the notes, therefore I can't do it. Therefore I delay it. Schedule it, delay it, schedule it, delay it. It's been bumped at least 3 times, maybe more.
Let's see. Patricia, if you recall, my emotional intelligence speech was more about my cat and who's winning the battle of wills. Was my emotional intelligence speech. Well, thank you everybody for the interest of keeping on time. Thank you all very much for your insight. I hope our executive got some ideas. I certainly did. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back to our evaluator, James Ahola.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Now, if we could please have from our timer, we're looking for some reports. Oh, are we having a best table topics? So we get to choose. Oh, this is new. This is new.
Don't we always vote for best table topics?
We do. We do. No, I'm just, first I've seen this format. Forgive me.
Because you disappeared on us.
Yeah, I did disappear. I disappeared into the ether, and I have reappeared.
Into the business world.
Into the business world, yes. All right. And we'll be calling on some reports. So the first report is that of the timer. So Cal, if we could get a report on the table topics times.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. For table topics, our speakers were timed as follows. Eva, 47 seconds. Roger, 1 minute, 58 seconds. Jordan, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Raj, 1 minute, 6 seconds. Christina, 2 minutes, 33 seconds. And Patricia, 1 minute, 18 seconds. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Cal. Next is that of our grammarians report. Hopefully he can give a jubilant decree that we have met our target for this evening. So, Cal, your report as grammarian.
Wayne here, of course, I am the grammarian as usual. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. I think we were in top-notch form today. I mentioned at the very beginning of my opening, I will give you a short evaluation of my thoughts as a grammarian. And I mentioned that I would give a grade. We were outstanding tonight when it came to the ums, the ahs, and the so's and the rights. So I will give the members a B++. That's how well we did. Now, as far as for the word of the day, jubilant, I stopped counting after we hit 12. So well done, everyone. I appreciate the honor of being your grammarian for the evening. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. That is incredible. You hit the goal. That is a wonderful target. Now, if we could please have, I believe I have 3 minutes on the timer for my general evaluation of the meeting. First off, we started on time, which was a great event. And I loved the intro, as well as the visit by an RCAT, an actual physical cat that was on there. I thought that was an incredible introduction. And then there was two, actually. I don't know if you all caught that. There was Ava the cat as well. So I enjoyed the RCAT audience being filled with cats. I thought that was very apropos. Then we moved on to the speeches that were there. And Dong, I have to thank you very much for delivering such an excellent speech. I loved you. You said you were inspired by that YouTuber or whatever the individual, but your speech was inspiring to me to remember where we had come and to want to go and to move further in our Toastmaster journey. Thank you very much for delivering such an incredible speech. As well, Melanie, incredible evaluation. Thank you very much for everything that you have done. That was an incredible evaluation that you have given. Forgive me, I'm jumping all over the place here. Kathy, Kathy's speech. Kathy, excellently done. It was a wonderful synopsis of the whole year that you had recanted, and it was a great delivery. And I was thoroughly impressed. It was one thing that people didn't bring up is how you got the picture of the cat in your presentation at the very end. I thought that was an incredible skill to take something that was only presented at the beginning of the meeting and throw it into your presentation, which was only happening a few minutes later. Very, very well done. Michael, pardon?
Print screen, copy
Print
paste.
screen. Yeah, but it was a print screen, then you capture it, throw it into the presentation. That's skills, girl. You got it. And Michael, as always, your evaluations are incredible, extremely on point, and you always have something great and learning points to share. Moving on with the rest of the meeting, Amy, wonderful induction of new members, very professionally done, very thorough, excellent induction. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And I also have to say, Wayne, I loved how you introduced the class act. I liked the way that you presented it and gave it the gravitas that was needed for the award. And congratulations, Karen, on winning it. You most definitely do deserve it. So thank you very much. Overall, and I have to say, time keeps on ticking into the future, as a great song once said, and we were able to stay on time and take advantage of it. That is an incredible mark of a great Toastmaster club. So with that, I pass it back on to our president, Miss Kathy Dranceris. Thank you, Kathy.
Well, thank you, but I think I was released from my duties. However, Christina made sure that she pointed out that technically I'm not released until June 30th, and that's a good thing because I actually do have an announcement, and I realized I can't put my hand up and be recognized by our incoming president. So we're going to have to figure out a trigger for you, Wayne, so that you'll know when one of us wants to put our hand up and say
one of those bird sounds where you blow it like a party favor to go.
No, but I could shake my dog and get him to bark.
Yeah.
So everybody, and I'm sorry Roger's not here, but believe it or not, we haven't had enough Roger Palooza. I got an email from Myrna Barth the other day saying it's all about Roger. So this Thursday, June 30th, they are having a District 86 recognition of Roger's continuing achievements. And they have asked me as president to say a couple of words. It is actually a hybrid meeting. So it's out in Walkerton, I believe it is. So I plan on going out in person. Hopefully I won't hit too much traffic. It sounds like it'll be brutal because of the time of night, but it's going to be 7 o'clock. And I've asked her for the flyer. I'm going to send it out to everybody. So please join either in person or not. I do have something that I have to bring to Roger that I forgot to take to the conference. Apparently he is a shot glass collector, so it's my opportunity to get rid of it. But for everybody else, it'd be great to see any of you. It would be great. So, and also Melanie, if there's any way that you can make it, I personally would love to be able to give you your copy from, can I get a picture of it there? The conference District 1, 2, 3 with your achievements and your DTM in it. There we go. So I just want to mention that's Thursday at 7 o'clock. Is there any other business and announcements, et cetera, that anyone would like to raise? I see a couple of hands. Christina went up first.
Is it Walkerton or Waterdown?
Waterdown, thank you. You're right, Christina. It is Grace Anglican Church, yes. Waterdown, Ontario. Eva.
What I would like to do is reach out to everyone here and send you a special invitation to a special event this Wednesday. I'm the club coach for Sudbury Noon Hour Toastmasters. They are kind of a struggling club, but they are celebrating their 10th anniversary. fantastic milestone occasion. And they will have Alexander Matt as their keynote speaker. And he is our District 123 World Champion of Public Speaking. We extended that the same thing to Roger when he was in this position, and it would be nice to support Alexander as he's moving up to the next level as well. So I'm extending the invitation to join Sudbury Noon Hour Toastmasters this Wednesday, and it's at noon, only 1 hour, jam-packed, and it's going to be a great meeting. I'd like to invite everybody to join. I have sent out the link to Kathy and to Wayne. If they could just pass that on to everyone. You need to sign up on Eventbrite to get your Zoom link, and you'll get the agenda. And it's only an hour, so if you can drop in, please do.
I'll be there.
I will send out the invite to both. Christina, we're at 9 o'clock. Quick.
Yeah, I hear it. I've got the chimes going. Alex Ond, by the way, is not only the first winner for the international speech for District 123, he was also the first winner for District 86.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So he's a what do they call it? Not milestone, but he's a
high
pioneer?
achiever.
Yeah, pioneer. First.
How do
He
you spell
also
it?
won District 86 multiple times, but the fact that he got one in the first one in both is kind of unique.
We've got a reminder here from Cheryl that if you have not attended club officer training, there is one on July 9. And trust me, you new officers, if you don't attend it, Marissa will be after you. So I don't think there's any other business. I'm going to pass it over to our new president. Bring down the gavel, sir.
Well, thank you very much, outgoing President Kathy Dreyfus. It only took me a year to get used to your name. So before we close out, I would just like to ask Amy if she has any closing thoughts about this evening's meeting.
Okay. Thank you very much for the offer, or for allowing me to speak. I really enjoyed tonight. I think Jordan stole my words when he said that you made him feel comfortable when he came. I know that I felt really comfortable with you. And of course, I was nervous when I came in here doing this, during the installation of the officers. Karen, thank you for the correct terminology. And your humor and the pirate hats and the songs all made me feel very comfortable. So I wasn't so nervous. So thank you very much for that. And
well, thank you. Thank you very much, Amy.
I know that I'm surrounded by a lot of very experienced Toastmasters, very experienced speakers, and I appreciate the opportunity to learn from you. And thank you, Karen, so much for the script you sent me. That was what helped me get through tonight. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And
your Royal Highness Wayne.
Yes.
See, I remembered. We have to call him Your Royal Highness. Would you like to know who won Table Topics?
Yes, that would be absolutely thrilling.
I would play the drum roll, but I've got my sound on something else now. Jordan Kish was our winner tonight.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate what Eva was saying, Amy, it's never too late to join RCAT. We will welcome you in with open arms. I will, I know this is not really my official meeting as your new president, but I will be starting something new once I become officially. I will be giving you a quote or an inspirational saying at the end of each meeting. And tonight I thought about this one. It was by Henry Ford. And he says, if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you're probably right. And I have just one word to add to that. And it's all about the one word, and I proudly wear this on my tie. and it's the word attitude. So go away tonight, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you back here on July the 8th, and think about your attitude. Good night, everyone.